Om Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankara-Acharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahi. Om Shanti 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 Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalasphatiकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे. ओम श्री हयग्रीवाय नमः. ओम श्री वल्लभा समेत श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः. So we are entering a new topic today. Atmanah nityatva-nirUpaNam. Already sukhatva-nirUpaNam we have done. But it is nitya sukha, correct? It is not anitya sukha. So nityatva-nirUpaNam also, actually this nirupanam can be done by looking at the Shruti Vakya and Smriti Vakya itself, correct? When you say like Satyam Jnanam Anantam, or even in Gita, Nitya Sarvagata Sthanuhu, Achaloyam Sanatanaha, all these Vakyas are there, Shruti Smriti Vakyas. From there only we know that Atma is Nitya. But here our author is using a very interesting way of arriving at it, okay, I would say. So let us see that. Just a small paragraph. Atha nityatvam atmanah pratipadyate. So now the nityatvam of the Atma is being revealed. Okay. How? Let us see. Loke chanatva, badhiratva, krishatva, sthulatva, kusthitva, kshayitva, vikalangatva, adhikangatva, daridratva, dhanikatva, swamitva, vrityatva, stritva, purushatva, manusyatva, pashutva, पक्षित्वादि विविध वैचित्र्यं वन्तः प्राणिनः उपलभ्यन्ते. Okay, first what he is saying is, in this loka all these different types of things are available, correct? Our beings are there. Who are they? Pranatva means one who is blind in one eye. Badhira is deaf. Trisha means thin. Stula means stout or fat. Kushti means one who is having leprosy or whatever, diseased. Shayitva means one who is weak and all that, again diseased. Then Vikalangatva means one who is having some handicapped organ or one who does not have an organ at all. Adhika, some people have more, some like the sixth digit, correct, in the hand and all that, or some Adhika Anga is there, or some people are having good Sarva Lakshana are proper, all the Angas are proper. Then Daridra, one who is poor, or Dhanika, wealthy. Somebody is a Swami, means one who is a, you can say, the boss or the owner, or Bhritya, servant also, Bhrityatvam. Some people are Stri, Purusha also, female, male, or human beings and animals, birds, etc. All these different kinds of beings are there, okay, variegated city. So, Tacha, Vaichitriyam, Janmantara, Adrishta, Adhinam. Okay, so this, how do you explain this variegated world? Correct. So many things are different. You go to one maternity ward, you can see that different children are there. Some people are some children are celebrated as soon as they are born. Some other children are born to parents who don't even care about the child. Correct. Or they are some children are born with a silver spoon. Another child doesn't even have any spoon at all. So like this, how do we account for all these differences? You cannot account for it just like that unless you say that there is a cruel creator, correct? So, but that also we cannot say. Even those who accept an Ishvara, they don't want this dosha in the Ishvara, that Ishvara is merciless, cruel, okay? And those who don't accept Ishvara also are there. Like like Buddhists and Jaina. Now they also have to account for all this Vaichitriya, okay, the differences. In fact, in our Indian tradition, you can say, all the darshanas mostly have accepted adrishta or karma. But how they look at the karma, there are differences. How the Buddhist looks at it, how the Jaina people understand karma and all, some differences are there. I don't want to go into that, but all of them accept that karma is there, and due to your own karma alone, you are born with a certain parentage and all that. So that is the one which is choosing where you are born, how you are born, what kind of childhood you have, correct? Till the time of maybe teenage, you don't have any agency, lot of agency. You are molded by your childhood and how you are brought up at that time. So you are basically helpless as a child. And whatever you go through in your childhood is all prarabdha. So that understanding we all have. Only the Abrahamic theologies don't have this idea, or even there they say there is there, but it was really relegated or deleted from the scriptures and all that. So this kind of an idea is universally there. So to account for the differences, we say that it is your own karma, your own adrishta alone is fructifying in this manner. And once you accept karma, janmantara also you have to accept, because all karma we see that is not whatever you do in this life, you don't get the benefit of all that in this life only. Neither the benefit nor the punishment. Correct. That also we see. That means there will be some balance. Like in any accounts, you have to carry forward the balance to the next year. Like that, you have to carry forward to the next janma. Means you had a previous janma also. The previous janma's karma has to have come from another previous janma. Like that, you have to go back. Till when you can go back means, then we say it is beginningless cycle. You cannot go back forever. So he is saying that tacha janmantaram tataha prachina janmantara drishta adhinam ityevam janma paramparaya adrishta paramparayascha anaditvat anadi adrishta ashrayatvasya sadi dehadi nishthatva ayogat anadi atma आश्रयत्वम एव अनादि अदृष्टस्य वक्तव्यम् एवं अनादित्वादे एव अनंतत्वं च. Okay, so now this is the anumana he is doing. So once you accept one janmantara, prachina janmantara adrishta adhina, so that previous janma has to have another previous janma for it to have happened. Like this, Janma Parampara is there. So there is a series. It's an infinite series only. And then that Adhishta Paramparayaha cha Anaditvat. So that then we have to accept it as Anadi. It is beginningless cycle, we say. That's what. And once it is Anadi Adhishta Ashrayatvasya, the Adhishta cannot live by itself. It cannot exist by itself. It has to have an Ashraya, correct? Where is it? What is the locus, or to whom does this adrishta or this karma belong? The karma has to belong to somebody. There has to be an ashraya where it is supported, where in that locus only it is there. Correct? It exists. So what is that locus? What is that ashraya? Means that has to be the deha, etc. You cannot say. Why? Because the deha itself is born and it goes away. So sadi dehadi nishtatva ayogat, he says first. So this deha, the physical body at least, is born and it will die. So you cannot say that anadi adrishta is there in the sadi dehadi. You cannot say that. Therefore, anadi atma ashrayatvam eva adrishtasya vaktavyam. So the adrishta, the anadi adrishta has to have its ashraya as the anadi atma. The jivatma alone has to have this adrishta, because even the of course, the Sukshma Sharira, we say in a particular creation, Sukshma Sharira keeps on going. Okay. And it takes another physical body. That is what we are saying, Janma and Marana, etc. So the Janma Marana of the physical body is seen by everybody. The Sukshma Sharira is what is the one which takes another body in this Srishti. But what happens in Pralaya means even that has to go into the unmanifest. But even then we say that the Chaitanya which is conditioned by a particular Karana Sharira is still there. That is the Jivatma we say. Jiva is nothing but, or the Jiva or the Atma here he is talking about is the Jivatma. Because Jivatma alone can have karma. And the Jivatma is the Karana Sharira Avachinna Chaitanya. Of course, then once the Sukshma Sharira again manifests, of course, the Jiva is then the Sukshma Sharira also, whatever because the Pramatritvam itself is there only in the Mano Avachinna Chaitanyam or Antakarana Avachinna Chaitanyam is the Pramata, is the knower or the subject, and Jivatma is the individual subject. Therefore, that karma is with that Jivatma, and therefore, that Atma Ashrayatvam eva Anadi Adishtasya Vaktavyam. So you have to accept that this karma has its ashraya as that Jivatma alone. Evam anaditvadeva anantatvam cha, because it is beginningless, you have to accept it as endless also. Okay. Now here one doubt can come, because these Nayayikas have all these ideas of Pragabhava, Pradhamsa Bhava and all that. So the Nayayika can come and say the Pragabhava is Anadi, but it has Anta. It ends. Once the pot is born, it ends. But the interesting thing is there is a Ghata Bhashya in Vridaranyaka Upanishad 1:1. There this Satkaryavada is established by Bhashyakara. Satkaryavada means what? For us, when you look at the Karya and Karana, the Nayayika says the Karya is newly born, it was not there before. So he is actually an Asat Karyavadi. Nayayikas, Vaisheshikas, these people are called Asat Karyavadi because they don't accept a Karya before the creation of that Karya. So the Karya was absent, that is what they call Pragabhava. So before its creation, Karya was not there. That is called prior non-existence or Pragabhava. That Pragabhava ends, he is saying. Even though it is beginningless, it ends. In fact, Bhashyakara in that Bhashya does not accept any Pragabhava at all. All Abhavas, in fact, he doesn't accept, because any Abhava is only it is only a Bhava Padartha only. Abhava also points to only a Bhava Padartha really. There is no Abhava. Because even in the case of the pot, Jnanam and the potential part has to already be there in the clay. See, if you do not have the knowledge that pot is potentially there in the clay, nobody will even use the clay to create the pot. Bhashyakara argues like that beautifully there. So that potential pot has to be there already. It is only unmanifest. All the karyas are there in the karana potentially. But which karya is manifest currently depends on whatever effort you put. And whichever karya is currently manifest is actually covering up all the other karyas which are potentially there. Like this is the Siddhanta in the Ghata Bhashya. While saying that, Bhashyakara also says that we don't accept any Pragabhava, we don't accept any Pradhamsa Bhava. They also say that after destroying the pot, the Pradhamsa Bhava has an Aditvam, Sadi, but it never ends. Correct? It is Ananta. Even that we don't accept, because there is no real Pradhamsa Bhava. After Pradhamsa also there is pot shards are there. Correct? Whatever you call as destruction of pot is really, the pot has now become clay shards, you can say. Correct? It has gone into another form only. So the Karana is now in another form or another Karya, in the form of another Karya. There is no real Pradhamsa Abhava. The Pradhamsa also is in the form of the shards. The Praga Bhava also you cannot say because potentially already pot is there. Anyonya Bhava also you cannot say, Bhashyakara says. Because if you say pot is not there in cloth, but you see it as cloth, correct? That Anyonya Bhava also is there in the form of another Bhava Padartha. All abhavas are there only as Bhava Padartha. Is that clear? We don't accept any abhava. Bhashyakara does not accept any. All the four abhavas are not accepted. Not only here, even in the Taittiriya Bhashya also it comes. Because there, and even in the Gita Bhashya also it is there. Because in Gita Bhashya and Taittiriya Bhashya, the Purva Pakshi argues about Pratyavaya. Akarane Pratyavaya. This is one argument of the Mimamsakas. If you don't do your Nitya Karma, you will get Papa called Pratyavaya. No, that also Bhashyakara doesn't accept. He says that Akarane Pratyavaya is not correct. Because an Abhava cannot produce anything. Because even Chandogya is explicitly saying, correct? From Asat, how can anything come? Asataha katham sajjayete, like that, there is Shruti Vakya is there, and Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha, Gita also says. So from Asat, nothing can come. So Akarane Pratyavaya we don't accept. Even there also Bhashyakara again does not accept any Abhava at all. All Abhavas we don't accept. That is the Advaita Siddhanta is very clear. In spite of this, some people are talking about Jnana Abhava and all that. I don't know how they even say like that. It's all very funny, actually. So, this Abhava is not accepted by us. So, you cannot say that Praga Bhava had is beginningless, but it ended and all that. Even then, Velankonda keeps that in mind, I think. So, he says, Nahi Janma Rupadi Abhave Nasha Rupantaha Sambhavati Bhava Padarthasya, he adds. So, for Bhava Padartha, for whatever is an existing entity, if there is no Janma Rupa Bhava, means there is no Janma. Okay, there is no absence in the form of Janma, or sorry, not no. There is an absence in the form of Janma. Janma Rupa Abhave Sati, Nasha Rupa Antaha Na Sambhavati. So the Na we has to go there. So if there is absence in the form of birth, then there also has to be absence, or there cannot be any destruction. Okay, in the form of destruction, there cannot be any nasha. It cannot be destroyed. There cannot be an end in the form of destruction because it doesn't have any birth also. For bhava padartha, he says, this is fine. But in fact, like I said, we don't accept any abhava at all. So, really speaking, Janma and Nasha are all only manifestation and unmanifestation. This Bhashyakara explains very clearly in the Kata Bhashya also. So for us, that's why even in the Sukshma or the unmanifest level, everything is there. Totality also the same thing for us, correct? So that is why there is Avyakta is there. Avyakta, Prakriti, Maya, all these things we are talking at the total level. At the individual level, we are saying the same thing is called as Avidya. So you don't have to have two different unmanifests, and therefore generally we understand that these two principles are same. One is from, you can look at it from the totality, means you call it Avyakta, Maya, etc. From an individual standpoint, we say that it is Avidya and all that. So the unmanifest only becomes manifest, whether it is the total world or the individual jiva. Therefore, we don't even accept any Janma. The Janma is basically the physical body being manifest. But even that, all that we say, it is potentially already there in the totality. From that, it is manifesting. And again, it becomes unmanifest. That is how we understand every Karya and Karana. And finally, there is only one Karana because the existence of everything comes from only Brahman for us. So, Sadatma alone is cognized in each and every cognition. That's what one has to understand. That is the Pratibodha Viditam Matam. So, anyway, this he is establishing it by showing that Anadi Adrishta has to be have the Atma as the Ashraya, and therefore, since it is Anadi, it is also It cannot have an anta, therefore it becomes ananta also. So evam adyantayoho abhavad atma nityah iti. Therefore, since it is beginningless and endless, it is nitya, it is eternal. Then one more thing also he says, what? Moksha anvayitvat cha atma nityah. So atma, the moksha is inhering in the atma itself, we have to say, correct? Moksha has to be atma swarupa. Otherwise, moksha also cannot be nitya. Moksha, see, moksha is accepted as nitya by all the darshanas. Otherwise, it will not be useful, correct? The Vishishtadvaitin also says moksha swarupa is nitya. And where does that moksha swarupa inhere means? It has to inhere only in the atma again. That way also, since nitya moksha is there for the atma, atma also has to be nitya. So he is saying like that, moksha anvayitvat atma nitya. So moksha hi nitya sarvaihi astikaihi abhibhagatam tata mokshasya anityatve स्वर्गादितुल्यत्वेन कर्मभिः एव पुरुषः कृतार्थः स्यादिति ब्रह्मविचारस्य तद् हेतु उपनिषदां च वैयर्थ्यं स्यात् तस्मात् आत्मा नित्यसुखरूपः इति उपादेयः एव. Okay, so that's what. See, moksha is accepted sarvaihi astikaihi abhibhagatam. See, by all the astikas, moksha is supposed to be nitya for all the astika darshanas. But Charvaka and all says that after you die, you are not there. So we are not talking about Nastika. But at least the Astika Darshanas, all of the people have to say that moksha is a nitya, or it is a eternal state, at least for some of them. And if moksha also is anitya, then it will become swargadi tulyatvena, it will become as good as swarga, etc., which are all gained by karma, correct? Karma bhi eva purushaha kritarthaha syat. So, if the moksha also is like Swarga, then moksha can be gained by karma phala itself, because it is anitya, means anitya can be karma phala. Like even Swarga we gain through karma, like that moksha also will become a karma phala. It can be gained by doing something. Kritarthahasya. It will become something attainable by doing karma. Therefore, what will happen? Brahma vicharasya tad hetu upanishadam cha vayarthyam. Therefore, Brahma Vichara will become useless. And, and whatever, how do you do Brahma Vichara means by doing the analysis of the Upanishad Vakya only. Because Brahman itself is Upanishadam Brahma, correct? And so Upanishads also will become useless. Therefore, what? Finally, what we have to accept? Therefore, Atma is Nityaha. Because it has Nitya Moksha. If moksha has to be Nitya and moksha has to inhere only in the Atma, moksha has to be Atma Swarupa. Therefore, Nitya Moksha means Nitya Atma. And already we said it is Sukha also. So, Nitya Sukha Rupaha iti upadeyaha. So, Atma has to be accepted as Nitya Sukha. He has beautifully established this. Now we go into the next topic, Brahma Mimamsayaha Karma Mimamsa Dhyananantarya Niyama Nirakaranam. Okay, already we have looked into this point little bit in previously also, correct? In the Atha Shabda Vichara itself, we saw this. Again, he is finally, it's like a Pishtasya Peshanam only little bit, but he is taking up certain arguments here, which are made by Ramanuja and the Shruta Prakashikakara, and he is going to negate all those things also. So let us see here. Yacha Uktam Nitya Nitya Vivekanantaramapi Shastraantareshu Karma Kandecha Nitya Phala संभावनायाः निवारक अभावात् तन्निवारणार्थं कर्ममीमांसा ब्रह्ममीमांसायाः पूर्वम् अवश्यम् अध्येया इति तदपि अयुक्तम्. Okay, so this particular point he is taking up here. What they are saying is nitya vastu viveka you cannot have by just doing Vedadhyanam. Therefore, you have to get the Nitya Vastu Viveka only by doing Karma Mimamsa. That is their main point. So that's why you have to do karma mimamsa first, then only you can do brahma mimamsa. If you say that nitya nitya vastu viveka you already have, and then you do brahma mimamsa, they are saying some mimamsa you have to do to arrive at nitya nitya vastu viveka. And their argument is, if you say you can do brahma mimamsa directly, then they will say that by doing brahma mimamsa only you will get nitya nitya vastu viveka. But if you say nitya nitya vastu viveka should already be there, like Advaitin is saying, you should already have nitya nitya vastu viveka to do brahma mimamsa. But they are claiming you will get nitya nitya vastu viveka only by doing some mimamsa, whether it is karma mimamsa or brahma mimamsa. Therefore, there will be anyonya ashraya dosha also will be there, like this they are saying. Now all these things he is taking up now. So nitya nitya viveka anantaramapi shastrantareshu karmakande cha nitya phala sambhavanayaha nivaraka abhavat. Okay. See, what he is saying is, you can have some nitya nitya vastu viveka like apatata jnanam, but even then you are not very sure. You do the Veda Adhyayanam, where you study many things. Also, Laukika experiences also you can have nitya nitya vastu viveka. Right? Nowadays, in fact, even myself, I didn't do any Veda Adhyayanam or anything, but by the Laukika Anubhava only one has a certain idea that one really wants this limitless Ananda. Correct? That is the Purushartha for everybody. But how can we get it by any karma, whether it is Laukika karma or Vaidika karma? So once you have that clarity, then there is no point in going into karma and all that. Correct? You have to only go into Vedanta Vichara, Brahma Mimamsa. So that can come even without doing any Purva Mimamsa. In fact, nowadays, who does Purva Mimamsa? At least Brahma Mimamsa, some people are doing like us. But Purva Mimamsa Adhyayana is very, very few people are studying really. So I don't know, even the Vishishtadvaitins, although Ramanuja has written all these things, whether in their Ji or Matha and all that, they study the Purva Mimamsa properly, I don't know, even now. Maybe some few scholars are there, but not all the people, they don't do that, actually, even for them. So, but they have given this as some kind of a prerequisite for Brahma Mimamsa. So, what they are saying is this Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka can be there generally, but still there is no, you have not ascertained it clearly. Therefore, you can still have pravritti into other shastras, okay, or even into karma kanta. Therefore, what? So that's what he is saying. Nitya phala sambhavanayaha nivaraka abhavat means by even doing something else, some kind of a special karma, you may still get nitya phala. Like that, you may have some ideas that has not gone away from you totally. Correct? That nivaraka abhava is there. That nitya phala can still be created. To get rid of that, you have to do karma mimamsa. You have to clearly ascertain that karma can never give you nitya phala. That ascertainment is still not there properly. Therefore, even though you have some general idea about nitya nitya vastu, you still pursue other shastras and all that. That possibility is there. Therefore, karma mimamsa you have to do to ascertain that clearly. Therefore, it is definitely you have to study Purva Mimamsa before Uttara Mimamsa. That is their argument. So Purvam Avashyam Adhyeya. This Purva Mimamsa has to be studied. Like this they said, Tadapi Ayuktam, that's not tenable, that's not proper. Why? Karma Mimamsa Adhyenena Tan Nivarana Siddhe. See, by doing Karma Mimamsa, in fact, it is going to make it worse. It's not going to really help you. Why? Because the Purva Mimamsaka is saying that going to Swarga, etc., alone is moksha. There is no other moksha, correct? Karma phala alone will give you moksha, is their Siddhanta. So, how by studying that you are going to get any Viveka with reference to Nitya and Anitya Vastu? So, that's what our author is asking here, that you say that by doing Karma Mimamsa, somehow you are going to get clarity that karma can never produce moksha or Nitya phala. That is not going to happen. In fact, that clarity will not come. Okay, the idea that I can still get Nitya phala from karma will not go. That nivarana will not happen, he says, by doing karma mimamsa adhyayana. Why? Pratyuta karma phala atirikta moksha phala bhava nistaya udayacha. In fact, it will be the opposite. Because by studying Purva Mimamsa, karma phala atirikta, other than karma phala, there is no moksha. Like this only they do the nischaya there. So that nischaya only you will have. Okay. So moksha phala is not there other than karma phala. That is the nityaya you will have, and therefore you will have only pravritti towards karma. You are not going to come to Brahma Mimamsa at all. So he says karma phalasya anityatva-nishchayastu yat kritakam tad anityam iti vyapti sahakritat tad yateha karmachita iti Veda Vakyadeva Sambhavati. So how do we get this Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka? First, using some logic and also Laukika experiences. I said, correct. Whatever Yat Kritakam Tad Anityam. But Upanishad also says that Nasti Akritaha Kritena. So that which is limitless cannot be produced by any karma. You can neither attain it. If it is really limitless, it has to be available here and now. Therefore, Yat Kritakam Tad Anityam. But whatever I want is nityam means it cannot be gained by doing any karma. This logic also we can use, and also Upanishads also say that nasti akritaha kritena artad yateha karma chito lokakshiyate. Like that, the Veda Vakya is there. This loka, whatever you attained with karma, this is gone. Similarly, Amutra also, whatever loka you go, whether it is Swarga loka or some other loka, that also once the punya chito lokakshiyate, it says. Punya, you go to some loka, even that once the punya is exhausted, you have to come back. Abrahma Bhonan Lokan, Punaravartinorjuna, Smriti also is there. So like this, Shruti, Smriti and Yukti, all this based on that, only Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka has to be there. Not because of studying Kuru Mimamsa, in fact, it will make it only worse. It will not give you any Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka really. Nacha etavata Brahma Mimamsa Adhyenam Vyarthamiti Vachyam. Okay, so if you already get Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka, why should I even do Brahma Mimamsa? Because their idea is that Brahma Mimamsa will give you Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. At least if you don't do any Mimamsa before and you do Brahma Mimamsa, then you will get Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. Like this, their idea is that. So they can now say that if you already have Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka, why should I do Brahma Mimamsa? So, etavata Brahma Mimamsa Adhyenam Vyartamiti na vachyam. Why you should not say that Brahma Mimamsa is useless? Aham Brahmeti Nischayartham tad avashyakam iti prageva pratipaditvatvat. So, Aham Brahma. So, the Brahma Mimamsa, why is it done? To know that Aham Brahmasmi. To establish the Aikya, the identity between myself and Jagat Karanam Brahma. For that only the Brahma Mimamsa is done. For that it is definitely it is required. Okay. Here another question also can be asked. Is that what? So if you say that Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka you get by doing just Sangha Veda Dhyana, we are saying, correct? Why can't even Tattvamasi also can be known like that? Why should I do any Mimamsa for that, or even go to Guru and study separately? Right? The Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam Guru you have to go. But why can't I know that? Because already Tattvamasi Vakyana, if I do the Adhyayana, Samaveda Adhyayana, and as part of that Chandogya also, people would have studied. Nowadays, I think Chandogya doesn't have any Swara. Even without Swara, I think some portions of Samaveda they just memorize. So is it like that? There can be a question can be there. So, why can't I gain this Mahavakya Jnanam also by just doing Sangha Veda Adhyayana? Why do I need Brahma Mimamsa? Means there we say that this Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, etc. are Sukshma. Okay, it is the Upanishad itself says that, correct? So unless it is taught with proper methodology, you don't understand. Even the Samanadhikaranyam, there are different kinds of Samanadhikaranyam. Correct? Aham Brahmasmi. You don't have any clarity whether it is like a ahangraha upasana or it is because the samana adhikaranya only different types are there. We talk about there is a bada samana adhikaranyam is there, aikya samana adhikaranam or visheshana visheshya bhava samana adhikaranyam. Like this, different samana adhikaranyams are there. Different ways two nouns can be connected with that is verb, correct? That is called an appositional statement in English. An appositional sentence can reveal many different things, or it can even reveal a deliberate superimposition, correct? Shalagrame Vishnum, like that. Shalagrama is Vishnu, if I say, means Shalagrame Vishnum Dhyayami, and all I can say. There, the Shastra is doing a deliberate superimposition for the purpose of upasana. So, what is that particular Mahavakya, etc.? There may not be any clarity. So, for that, Brahma Mimamsa and Guru Upasadanam has to be there. You have to go to a Guru, you have to do Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, do Brahma Mimamsa, then only you will know the Tatparya, the Shruti Tatparya. Shravanam only, in fact, establishes the Tatparya of the Shruti, and Pramana Asambhavana is gone, we say. What does the Pramana say about me? First, you have to have clarity of that. So, for that, Brahma Mimamsa has to be done. So, you cannot say that only Sangha Veda Adhyayana will give you the understanding of Tattvamasi correctly. So, like this, there we can give an answer. Okay. So, anyway, so but I think the Bellangonda doesn't actually answer this or take up this question. Yadapi Uttam Anena Nitya Nitya. Okay, I think it should be Vastu. Here it is Vistu is Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveke Sati Brahma Vicharaha. Brahma Vichare Sati Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha iti Anyonya Ashraya iti Tadapi Ayuktam. So they say that Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka can come from Brahma Vichara only finally. And therefore, if you already say you have to have Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka for Brahma Vichara, it will become Anyonya Ashraya. This also is not correct. It is also not tenable because what we say is that that's what he is saying. Sangha Swadhyaya Adhyanena Sati Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. So we say Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka comes by doing Sangha Veda Adhyanam only. And then when that Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka has to be there properly. Tasmin Sati Brahma Vicharaha iti krama. Then only you can do Brahma Vichara. Therefore, there is no Anyonya Ashraya dosha. You have to have proper Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka to enter into Vedanta. Then only, in fact, you are studying Vedanta as a mumukshu. Otherwise, anybody can study Vedanta like a scholar. It doesn't make any difference, correct? You won't get what Vedanta can really give you then. Therefore, first you have to have this Viveka, then only you enter into Brahma Vichara. That is the Krama, that is the order. And therefore, there is no Anyonya Ashraya or mutual dependence here. Okay. Then further what? Nacha Brahma Vicharat Prag Apatata Eva Nitya Nitya Viveka iti Kritva Nitya Nitya Nischayam Vina Brahma Vichare Pravritti Ayogat Nitya Nitya Nichaye Sati Brahma Vicharaha Brahma Vichare Sati Nitya Nitya Nichaya iti Anyonya Ashraya iti Vacham. So even now the Anyonya Ashraya dosha is not leaving. He is saying if you do all this Sangha Veda Dhyana etc. before Brahma Vichara, still you can only get Apatata Jnana. Means general idea only you will get what is Nitya, what is Anitya etc. By doing proper Karma Mimamsa and Brahma Mimamsa only you will know. So in Karma Mimamsa, you will know that from Karma you cannot get Nitya Vastu. Then still you have to know where you will get the Nitya Vastu or what is Nitya, etc. That Brahma Mimamsa has to give. I think that is their argument. Therefore, proper Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka can come only after Brahma Vichara and Brahma Mimamsa. And if you say that now you should already have it, you cannot already have it. You can only have Apatata Jnanam or general knowledge before that. Therefore, still this Anyonya Ashraya problem will be there. If you say that already I have to have proper Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka, then only I can do Brahma Vichara means there will still be Anyonya Ashraya possibility. Okay, that's what he has explained. Even if you say that it is not correct, you cannot say that. Na Vachyam. Why? na asmabhihi brahma vicharat prag adhigata vedantasya purushasya nitya nitya vivekah apatatah bhavati iti uchyate. Evam, so yena ayam anyonya ashrayah syat. So why we say is because we don't accept that before brahma vichara, and whoever has studied Vedanta, right? Of course, Vedanta Adhyayanam, during Veda Adhyayanam, you may also memorize the Vedanta and even some apatata jnanam meaning and all you will know. So Adhigata Vedantasya, Purushasya. So for such a person, only apatata jnanam of Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka is there, we don't accept. Even such a person can have very clear understanding that this, what is Nitya, what is Anitya. There need not be any vagueness or doubt in that. That jnanam can come and that doesn't require any Brahma Vichara. Okay. And therefore there is no Anyonya Ashraya like you say. So we don't have any Anyonya Ashraya. So he explains that further. What kim tarhi moksha eva nityaha purushartaha swargaha tu anityaha eva iti nitya nitya viveka nischaya eva bhavati. So further what? In fact, for the Adhikata Vedantasya, the person who has done Adhyanam of Vedanta also along with Veda and other Angas, this moksha alone is Nitya Purushartha. This Nischaya comes and Swarga etc. are only Anitya. This alone will come. Because there are so many statements like we already said, correct? Yo vai tad bhuma tad sukham etc. Atmavit tarati shokam. Like this, so many statements are there. And with reference to karma phala also, karma para is nashvara, it will exhaust, you have to come back, etc. All that also, and also in our life also we see that, correct? Anything you achieve, like I always say, there is a dukkha mishritatvam is there with any sukha avapti also, because you have to gain something, you have to put in lot of effort, you have to lose something in fact. And then after gaining something also, you have to keep putting effort to maintain it. And even then what? You may still lose it. So there is always a fear that you will lose it. And once you lose it also, you are going to have dukkha. So gaining also is dukkha. Maintaining also is dukkha. After it is gone also dukkha. Means any attainment in this world is always mixed with some dukkha alone. Therefore, the Viveki Purusha, one who is bright enough, definitely will have Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka, proper Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. For that, Vedanta Shravana and Vedanta Vichara is not required. Okay. So that is what we are saying. So that is always possible. That Nischaya will be there for a person who has studied reasonably and who has a reasonable analytical ability. Okay. Intellectual and analytical ability. And in fact, what we say is what is apatata for the Adhigata Vedanta Purusha? Brahmatma abheda jnanam tu apatataha bhavati. So we say that only the Brahmatma abheda jnanam is apatata. It is generally known. But Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka has to be there properly. But this is generally, you know that because you still do Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, etc. You see there, but still you don't have proper understanding of that. That is apatata. Therefore, in fact, the Brahma Vichara has to be done for what? Tan Nivaranaya, Nirnayaya, sorry, not Nivarana, Tat Nirnayaya eva Brahma Vicharaha Kartavya. Therefore, to understand this Mahavakya and the identity between Brahman and Atma, for that only Brahma Vichara has to be done. So once you say this, then the Ramanuja people say that no, Abheda itself is not taught by the Upanishads. So how can you say that? So Nacha Vedanteshu Brahma Mimamsayam cha Brahma Atma Bheda eva vartate iti vachyam. So they are saying no, this Brahma Atma Bheda alone is taught by the Upanishad. In fact, like I said, Madhva even interprets Atma Atatvamasi and all that. And even in Gita, I think he is very funny. He says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam is there, correct? Even there he puts an I think. Te ajnanam. Upadekshanti te ajnanam. Like that. See, all this grammatical gymnastics you can do, right? You can put anywhere. So even Tattvamasi also, whether it is really Tattvamasi, Atatvamasi, you don't know. Unless you do Vichara. You have to do all the Shadlinga Vichara and then establish that it can be only Tattvamasi, it cannot be Atatvamasi, or it cannot be Tasyatvamasi also, correct? Tattvam, I think Ramanuja takes it as Samasta Pada. So whether Tat and Tvam are Asamasta or Samasta, whether it is a compound or non-compounded, two different words. If you take it as Tasyatvamasi, then totally different meaning. It becomes Vishishtadvaita. Then you then become an adjective of Bhagavan. Till now you thought you are a noun. After doing Vishishtadvaita Adhyayanam, you have become adjective. You are no more a noun. In fact, you become a Visheshana to Bhagavan. Like this. So whether all these things are there, so it's not very easy to understand this Mahavakya because others are also confusing it. Correct. So here he says we don't accept Veda Jnanam alone is taught by the Upanishad. Once you say this, in fact, my Guruji also used to say this story and all that. Okay. So it seems he used to say the story of Murari, the barber story, he used to say. What is that story? So once one Dvaita scholar went to Advaitin Guru and said, no, Advaita and all is not correct. The Veda is only teaching Dvaita. So then he asked, how many years you did Adhyayanam? Then the Dvaita scholar said that I did 12 years I have done Adhyayanam. Okay, he said, okay, you sit here. Then he wanted to get a shavaram that day, so he called Murari the barber. And then as soon as Murari came, he said, hey Murare, Namaha, and did Namaskara to Murari. Then Murari was taken aback. He thought, what is this? This brahmana is doing Namaskara to me. How is this correct? He says, no, I am not Narayana, I am not Murari, I am not Bhagavan. Why are you doing Namaskara to me? Then that Advaita Guru got up and said, see, after 12 years, whatever you have understood, Murari already knows that. So why should you study 12 years for all these things, correct? To know this, which is already known. Even Murari, the barber, knows it without doing any Veda Dhyanam or Mimamsa, etc. That's what he will also say here. See, he says, Veda eva vartate iti na vachyam vai tata sati naham brahmeti pratyaksha siddhasya brahmatma bhedasya vatipadakam idam Vedanta shastram varthaveva bhavet. Because already Pratyaksha and normal people already know that Aham na Brahma Nasti only. They all take, correct? Not Aham Brahmasmi. They don't know Aham Brahmasmi. Everybody thinks that Brahman is separate from me only. Already, at least by Pratyaksha, they are thinking like that. I am separate from each and every object in this world. Subject object duality is taken as real, and Bhagavan also is taken as another object who can be objectified and all that. Therefore, that is the Pratyaksha Siddha Jnanam. That already being there, what is the point in Shruti doing Anuvada of the same thing, repeating the same thing? Then Shruti is not a Pramana then. Shruti Pramanyam itself is gone. So how can Shruti reveal again whatever is already known? Anadhigatattvam is the main thing for us, correct? If something is a Prama, the Prama Lakshana and Pramana Lakshana says Anadhigatattvam, Abadhitattvam. So Anadhigatattvam will go away if you say that Veda alone is revealed, Brahmatma Veda is revealed by the Upanishad, and it will become, the Vedanta Shastra will become Vyarthameva if it reveals this. If it reveals Brahmatma Veda, then Vedanta Shastra will become Vyartha. So he says that Anadhigatartha bodhakatvena hi shastrasya pramanyam. So the Shastra is a pramana, is a valid means of knowledge because it is revealing to me something which is unique, which is not available otherwise to Pratyaksha or Anumana, whatever that alone is Shastra Pramanya. That is the reason for Shastra being a Pramana. Now, so okay, Anadhigata is fine. What about Abhadita? So the Purvapakshi is saying, Nacha Pratyaksha Viruddhartha Bodhakatve Sati Vedancha Shastrasya Pramanyam Sad Adityo Yupa Ityadi Vakyavaditi Vachyam. So now their pet peeve is what? If you say Aham Brahmasmi is a fact, then it goes against Pratyaksha. You only know that it is already Pratyaksha Siddha. So again, this is answered in many ways, correct? In fact, here Bellangonda will answer it in a different manner. But anyway, the objection is what? Like Adityo, Yupaha, like this and all is there. How can sun be the Yupa? Yupa is the post, the ceremonial post in the ritual. So Aditya, how can Aditya be that? Means then it means something. Okay. So you have to reinterpret it as an Arthavada. So like that Vakya cannot, the literal meaning does not have any sense, means we have to reinterpret. Similarly, even Tattvamasi, etc., literally you cannot take it. You have to take it either as Upasana, Ahangra Upasana and all that. That's what most of them actually say. So like this, that's how you have to take. Otherwise, Pratyaksha Virodha. It will be Badhita by Pratyaksha, and whatever Shruti says has to be Abhadita, cannot be negated by Pratyaksha or Anumana. Therefore, whatever you say is not correct. But for that, what our author is answering, Pratyaksha Viruddhamapi Bhumandala Adhika Pramanam Surya Mandalam Ityadi Pratipadayataha Jyotish Shastrasya Pramanyam Abhivagama. He is now giving a simple, he is saying whichever is Bala, that alone is really Pramana. Pratiksha need not be always right. Pratiksha Siddha does not mean that Pratiksha Siddha is Prama. It can be Brahma also, correct? So, for example, even in those days, Jyotish Shastra is already saying Surya Mandala, even current science says that sun is very, very big compared to earth. But when we are sitting on earth, earth is very big. Sun is so small because it is there at a distance, correct? That's what he is saying. Adhika, here he says what? Adhika Pramanam Surya Mandalam is what revealed. But in Bhumandala, when you are sitting, it doesn't look like Adhika Pramana because the parimana of the sun is supposed to, it looks like it is like a small ball only, correct, in the sky. And you say that it is bigger than, or it is millions of times bigger than the earth and all that. How can I understand that? It is Pratyaksha Viruddha, but still we accept the science, we accept even Jyotisha Shastra when you say that. That means in certain cases, Pratyaksha is only, it is not Balavat. Shastra is more Balavat than Pratyaksha. Therefore, whatever is Balavat, that pramana will negate the whatever is not Balavat. Whatever is weak will be negated by a strong means of knowledge. So in this case, Pratyaksha is not strong enough. Shastra is strong. Like this one argument he is putting. Or we put another argument saying that it does not really negate Pratyaksha because Pratyaksha only reveals the dharma, but it does not reveal the dharmi or the reality of any perception. Pratiksha is not a pramana for saying whether whatever you are seeing is satyam or mithya. Okay. In fact, whatever you see is mithya. We give a drishyatvat mithya, like that we give a anumana also. So like this, there are many ways of answering this. So here he is taking this route that Shastra is balavat. Therefore, Pratiksha will be negated by Shastra, not the other way around. Okay. So the rest of the things we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.